Hello and welcome to this week's My Anger Coach podcast and video. Whether you're watching us or you're listening to us somewhere, then a big welcome from me, Martin Hogg. As you know, I'm from myangercoach.co.uk, where you can find lots of articles and free tips to help you with anger management. And this week in the news roundup, I want to talk about a particular incident from America, a gentleman called Raymond Davis, who is a CIA contractor and who got himself into a bit of a bother and is alleged to have assaulted somebody in a car park. And it got me thinking, because it's one of the queries that I've had quite a lot on the anger management courses. And what had happened was, and I want you to think about, how would you react with this if this were to happen to you? So you're in your car and you're waiting for a parking space in a car park, and you've been waiting for a few minutes, and cheekily somebody else comes in and takes that space. How would you feel? Just hearing the story at the moment, how would you feel with that? Well, what Raymond Davis is alleged to have done is to got out of his car and challenged the other person, and saying that actually he was there waiting for the space, and as a result both parties got involved allegedly in a bit of a fight in the car park, and Raymond Davis was taken away by police and is currently on trial to be heard in December 2011. What would you do in that situation? And this was really got me thinking about some of the different anger management techniques that you could use. And I guess one of the biggest things is about the frustration that you have in building up to this kind of anger level. So if you're in a car park and you're waiting for a space and you're getting a little impatient, and what are you going to do about it? And I think one of the biggest things to think about is, does it really matter? If you've been waiting there for a few minutes and you've got to wait for a few minutes more, does it really matter? But the big thing for me is, well, what are the consequences if your anger gets out of hand? So if you were to be the person who actually left your car and went over to the other driver to complain, if that got out of hand, what could you lose as a result? Would it cause problems for your family or at work, something like that? So I think that the way out of this is to be thinking about the consequences and be thinking about it in the whole picture, because in an hour's time, when you're actually in the shop or whatever you're doing, is it really going to matter that you had to wait those extra few minutes? So just wanted to share that with you. Now, in sports news this week, I was really struck about this time last year when there was great criticism of Mike Ashley, the owner of Newcastle United, and there was some criticism recently about the sale of Joey Barton and Kevin Nolan, and how quickly that anger that the fans had dispersed when they sort of started having this amazing unbeaten run, and are currently, as we speak, third in the English Premier League at the moment. So things can change quite a lot with anger, and all of a sudden people have forgotten that the anger that they had about the owner of Newcastle United. And for those Villa supporters of you, just remind you of the campaigns at the gates of the Villa ground regarding the manager moving over from Birmingham City as well. So let's not get caught up in the moment with anger, and I'll see you on the podcast next week.